Well, hello there, interweb goers. Cthulhu the Dark One back with another Marvel Legends review. This time we'll take a look at the Marvel Legends 2012 series Steve Rogers, Captain America, because I believe this look comes from when he was the leader of S.H.I.E.L.D. and ultimately he got promoted above Captain, and but anyway, he went by Steve Rogers when he looked like this. Typical Marvel Legend package. Told you what piece of Terrax it comes with. Really, really good artwork, which I'll point out is actually my one or a couple gripes of the figure. But really good artwork, followed up by more really good artwork on the back. And, I want my size comparison can, if you heard that. But that leads me to my one gripe. Getting close here. That picture, and then even possibly get a better one, that's a pretty young looking guy. And, I mean, you know, Cap kind of doesn't age, or he does age, but really slowly thanks to the serum. That does not look like that picture. I don't know. That face sculpt looks like 10 years older than that picture. I don't know. It reminds me of somebody. I can't nail it down. It's either like Adam Sessler with hair or somebody, but I don't know. I don't know. It could have been a little bit better. I mean, it's not a bad figure overall. I do have a couple gripes on it. But, it'll happen, I guess. Not every head sculpt can be spot on. But speaking of the head itself, I don't know, maybe it's just me, or the fact that he's kind of hunched, or his neck is forward when it doesn't need to be. So, I don't know, his head looks big for the rest of his body. Might just be me. I don't know. That's another thing. I'll go ahead and get all the gripes out of the way. Another gripe, there are, on mine at least, I can only imagine on other ones, you can actually see the paint, the white that was painted on him. Very flaky. That was like that little bit on his shoulder and a little bit on his chest is just from me moving him and posing him and stuff grazing it, so be careful on that. And the one other kind of stupid gripe, even though his hands are pretty much molded to hold them, he doesn't have a place to store the pistols. I mean, he has like this kind of belt holster thing, but there's nothing to actually hold the guns. Like this, to me, should have just been molded on here. Like the belt part should have been molded, and then this be soft plastic, like the little dangly part, because this thing just gets in the way to me. But other than that, it's a solid figure. There was a variant of it where his suit, the main suit was a blacker suit, which actually I thought I had for a while until I realized the other distinguishing feature is that his shield, which does look really good, is kind of like a clearish plastic to simulate the holographic shield he had for a little while when his real shield got broke. But other than that, it's a pretty good figure. I actually got to give a shout out. My buddy that I do my podcast with, Tito Omega, actually picked this guy up for me when he saw him in the store when I was trying to get the line originally. And honestly, I mean, it's because I live in a really small podunk town, but I've never even seen him in stores I mean, you know, I didn't even see him in the store then. My buddy got it for, so I don't know if it was like a rarity or something. But other than that, pretty good. Guns are, you know, shiny metally looking guns. The shield is shiny metally looking shield. Shield has a clip for his arm, or a peg, so you can peg it in his back. And again, show you more of the kind of paint rubbing. You can see kind of the black coming through, or dark blue coming through, other than the main stripes. It's just from this being put on and turned and stuff like that. So, be careful. Presumably, a really skillful hand and a whiteout pen could really take care of that, but mine hasn't got that bad yet, or at least ways I don't see it as that bad. These little shoulder strappy things, they look like they can move. I don't think they're molded into the top body. I think they're actually glued. Because fundamentally they're pretty loose, all except for like right here on the top. So I wouldn't try to move them. Doesn't really affect articulation that much. Just a little bit in and out, but but still a pretty good figure. Still pretty good articulated. Mine has kind of wibbly wobbly legs, especially the right, his right leg here. Took me a little bit to get him to stand. Gotta love these wonky hip joints that they do on the Marvel Legends. It's like you can either go in and out or back and forward, not at really the same time. And you just kind of gotta fiddle with it to get it where you want it. But anyway, as far as posability, I'll go ahead and still probably knock him out of his hand anyway. Go ahead and show you the gun. I mean, the gun is pretty good detail. Just a shiny metal finish on it, but still pretty good. Show the gun. And like I said, his hands are pretty much, they need to hold a gun-ish. Either that or he's got a really bad itch somewhere and he's scratching. But anyway, and see, this is what I'm saying. You can't really move the thing without this stupid belt going up in his armpits or something. Ugh, I might glue that down one of these days. Anyway, articulation. Let's see. You got a ball jointed head, and like I noted before, the neck. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it needs to lean forward, but you got good range of movement, 360. And like I said, his head does seem a little bit big, but it might just be me. Shoulder, typical ball joint, out and in, all the way around. Double jointed elbow. Kind of a mid-arm sort of swivel instead of a full wrist. The upper ab there. And then kind of beneath it, but he has a waist rotation. And then again, mentioned the wonky hip joints. It can either go, basically it's hinged one way. So if you want to go in or out for a pose, you have to just line it up. When I do Spider-Man, I'll be able to show it a little bit better because of the color difference. Or you'd have to line it up so go in and out. But, I mean, you get a good range of posability on it. Double jointed knee. And then, sort of ankle, but the kind of leg bracy sort of costume thing. I mean, you can get a little bit of rotation, but ultimately it'll kind of push it back to that kind of neutral position. So, pretty good posability. Other than the wonky legs. This thing's gonna... There it goes. But, pretty cool. I mean, like I said, I kind of said before, I'm not as much of an avid Marvel Comics reader. I do know he went by Steve Rogers for a while. But was trying to get kind of the cool ones of the line, and I've always been a Cap fan. Just show you what he looks like. Snap his shield on his arm. With a more traditional, I don't just carry guns and shoot people Cap. And have them like with a pistol back here or something. But like I said, then you come with the problem, there's no place to put the other gun other than just have it laying near him for storage. But pretty cool figure. Good paint. I mean, boots are shiny. It'll pick it up. The light's kind of wonky. Oh, that's why, because that's blocking half of it. Anyway, the boots are shiny. Like shinier than his outfit. Pretty good. Like I said, the main thing is head. It kind of doesn't really... Like, I look at that face and I don't think Steve Rogers Captain America. Could just be me. His head and jawline seems a bit big for the overall body frame. Again, might just be me. And then keep an eye out on the white paint on his body for severe rubbing offness. But other than that, pretty cool little figure. That's the 2012 Marvel Legends, or Return of Marvel Legends, which is apparently since kind of bombed, since they kind of canceled the other two lines. They're going back to the regular 3 or 4-inch Marvel Universe. But anyway, the Return of Marvel Legends, Steve Rogers, a.k.a. Captain America. And man, I really hope he doesn't end up looking like this in one of the movies. But if it happens, it happens. But, till next time.